Hello everyone, welcome to Top Scholars, the smart learning app. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss something really important. So, if you are a student of Maharashtra State Board and if you are studying in 10th standard and if you are preparing for the board examinations for the year 2024, this is a particularly important lecture for you because what we are going to do is we are going to discuss in this lecture previously asked questions from the last 5 years. So, in the last 5 years from the year 2019 up till 2023, whatever questions were asked from this chapter, effects of electric current, all those questions are going to be discussed over here. So, all the questions will be there and some of the questions will be discussed in detail while some questions will be discussed in short. Okay, so now let's move on and let's get into this lecture and let's see how many questions were asked in the last 5 years from 2019 till 2023. So, first of all, let's look at this table over here. This table here shows us from the last 5 years how many questions were asked for 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark and 5 mark. So, there is no 4 mark question in the last 5 years from this chapter. So, here for example, in the year 2019, there was 1 question for 1 mark, 2 questions for 2 marks and no question for 3 mark and 5 mark. Similarly, if you go here in the year 2020, we have got 2 questions for 1 mark, 1 question for 2 marks and then 1 question for 3 marks. Then here in the year 2021, we have 1 question for 2 marks, then 1 question for 3 marks. Here in the year 2022, we have got 1 question for 1 mark and then 1 question for 2 marks and we have got 1 question for 5 marks. Then in the last year, that is 2023, we have got 2 questions for 1 mark and then 1 question for 2 marks and then 1 question for 3 marks. In this way, if you look over here, in total we have got 6 1 mark questions, then 6 2 mark questions and then 3 3 mark questions and then 1 5 mark question, isn't it? So, in total, if you just add these up, you are going to get 16 questions. The total from this chapter, we have had 16 questions for different marks. Okay. So, now what we will do is we will discuss each one of these questions. Some of them will be dealt in detail and some of them will be dealt in short. Okay. Now, this same statistics has been displayed over here with the help of we can see a graph. Okay. So, here year wise you can see different types of questions were asked. Okay. Like for example, here different colors indicate different marks, like this blue color indicates 1 mark, orange color indicates 2 marks, then this little bit gray color, it indicates 3 marks and yellow color indicates 5 marks. So, here you can see yellow color. So, in the year 2022, we had 1 question for 5 marks. Okay. So, this is another representation of the 5 years statistics, okay, for this particular chapter. Now, let's start with the actual discussion on the questions. So, let's start with first of all the year 2019. So, in this year we had this question first of all. So, observe the following diagram and choose the correct alternative. So, here we have 2 diagrams and it's a multiple choice question for 1 mark. Okay. So, in these 2 diagrams, if you look at this diagram carefully, here we have got a 5-volt battery, same here 5-volt battery. We have a ammeter here, we have a ammeter here also, but here we can see 2 resistors R1 and R2. So, here these 2 resistors are connected in series and here also we have got 2 resistors, but the same resistors are connected in parallel. And then we can see here this connection goes through the cardboard over here. Same here, there is a loop created and definitely current is going to flow through this loop. So there is a loop through the cardboard. So since there is a circular loop, definitely there will be some magnetic field produced, okay, according to the magnetic effect of electric current. Now, as we know, the strength of the magnetic field depends on the value of current. More the value of current, more is going to be the intensity of magnetic field. So here we have to identify in which case the current is going to be maximum, and in whichever case the current is maximum, in that case itself the intensity of magnetic field is going to be maximum. So the options first of all are: the intensity of magnetic field in A is larger than in B, the intensity of magnetic field in B is less than in A, the intensity of magnetic field in A and B is same, and then the intensity of magnetic field in A is less than in B. So which of these is correct? So it is very simple. Since over here the two resistors are in series, so definitely the resistance is going to add up. So here the resistance is large. Since the resistance is large, so current over here, let's say it is I1, okay. So that current has to be less than the current over here, because here the connection is in parallel. So since it is in parallel, the resistance is going to be smaller, and since the overall resistance is smaller over here, then the current, let's say it is I2, is going to be greater. Okay, so here the current is large. So since current is large, magnetic field is also intense. Here it is small, so magnetic field is not so intense. So definitely magnetic field intensity in A is less than in B. So the correct answer or correct option is option D. Okay, moving on to the next question from the same year, 2019. So the question is, give scientific reasons, and this is for 2 marks. So the question here is, in the electric equipment producing heat, example iron, electric heater, boiler, toaster, etc., an alloy such as nichrome is used, not pure metals. So this is a scientific statement that is given. So we have to give a scientific reason. So why does people use nichrome, okay, instead of pure metals in the electric iron, then heaters, boilers, toasters, etc.? So the simple answer to this question is that generally alloys have much higher melting point as compared to pure metals. Okay, so this gives us a very large range of temperature. Okay, so over here we are able to work with a very large range. That means we can achieve larger or very higher temperatures if we use alloys. Okay, so over here if we use a wire made up of pure metals, then it might just melt very easily, okay, at very small values of currents. Okay, because due to the heating effect, okay, due to the heating effect of current, the wires will break down, okay, wires will melt, okay, because pure metals, they have low melting point, but alloys have got higher melting point, and that's why over here they don't break easily. Also, one more thing is, pure metals have got very low resistance, whereas alloys have got little bit higher resistance. They conduct electricity also, but they have got higher resistance as compared to pure metals. Since they have got higher resistance, definitely the heating effect is also going to be larger. Also, since they have got higher melting point, they can work up to a very large temperatures also. So that is the reason why people use nichrome alloys, okay, alloys such as nichrome for this purpose. Okay, next question is, two tungsten bulbs of power 50 watt and 60 watt work on 220 volt potential difference. If they are connected in parallel, how much current will flow in the main conductor? Okay, so this is for 2 marks. Okay, so this question is going to be discussed at the end of this lecture, so let's not discuss it right now. Full description, full answer will be discussed later on. So let's skip it for right now. Later on we will discuss. Moving on to the next question from the next year, that is 2020. So the first question is, this is a very small question and this is for 1 mark. Find the odd one out. Okay. So what would be the odd one out of these? Here it is a voltmeter, ammeter, thermometer and galvanometer. So here this voltmeter, ammeter and galvanometers, these are those devices which are used in an electrical circuit for measurement of current, voltage, and this is also used for measuring current. Basically, ammeter and voltmeters are working on the same principles as that of galvanometers, but thermometers are different. They are used for measuring a thermodynamical property called as temperature. So that's why here the odd one is thermometer. Now, next is true or false. The frequency of AC is 50 Hertz. So definitely this is true. Okay, for India, for country like India, the frequency is 50 Hertz. Okay, for some other countries, okay, for some foreign countries it is 60 Hertz also, but for us it is 50 Hertz. So this is for 1 mark. Moving on to the next. Okay, observe the given figure of Fleming's right hand rule and write labels of A and B correctly. So here we have to indicate over here what is A and what is B. Okay, this is a right hand rule, Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, so here this is motion of a conductor. Okay, then what is A and what is B? You already might have studied this right hand rule, isn't it? So here there are 3 fingers. Okay, one is a thumb. Okay, then this is index finger and this is middle finger. So each one of these, okay, indicate something, some physical quantity, and this is related to the magnetic effect of electric current. Okay, so over here we have to identify what is this and what is this. Okay, thumb is motion of the conductor. So over here we have to identify what is this A and what is this B. Here thumb indicates motion of the conductor. So as we have studied this Fleming's right hand rule, okay, so this basically is the direction of the magnetic field B. Okay, generally magnetic fields are indicated by a symbol B, and this is the direction of the current, okay, which is indicated by I. Okay, so this is going to be the answer for this question. Moving on to the next question, again from the same year 2020. So here read the given passage and answer the following question. So here it is. The home electrical connection consists of live, neutral and earth wires. The live and the neutral wires have potential difference of 220 volt. The earth is connected to ground due to a fault in the equipment, or if the plastic coating on the live and neutral wire gives away, the 2 wires come in contact with each other and a large current flows through it, producing heat. If any inflammable material such as wood, cloth, plastic, etc. exist around that place, it can catch fire. Therefore, a fuse wire is used as a precautionary measure. Okay, so basically here we are talking about the electrical connections in our households. So generally we have got these 3 wires, live, neutral and earth, okay, that we receive from the electricity board of that particular state or maybe country. Now the question here is, name the two wires having potential difference of 220 volt. So it is given over here that the live and neutral wire have the potential difference of 220 volt. Next is, what is short circuit? So basically, when the live and the neutral wire come in contact with each other, basically the potential difference between the two wires is 220 volt, and in some cases, if they come in contact with each other due to some fault, okay, then a short circuit will happen. Okay, that means a very large current will be produced, okay, or will flow through the circuit, that will cause a large heating effect, due to which a huge amount of heat will be generated. And as we can see over here, that if there is some particular material which can catch fire, like clothes, wood, something like that, then definitely it would catch some fire and it might cause some damage to the house also. Okay, so this is short circuit. And then write the function of a fuse. So as we know, fuse is generally used in our household to protect our electrical appliances from a short circuit or from a overflow of current. So whenever there is certain overflow of current, when the current becomes very large, to protect our electrical appliances from getting damaged, we use fuse. Okay, so that is the purpose of fuse. Moving on to the next question from the year 2021. So here, give scientific reasons. 1. It is necessary to connect earth wires in home electrical connection. So generally, if we see, every household is connected to ground, isn't it? If you see, every electrical connection in house is generally connected to a ground. Why it is so? It is because if you have any equipment, electrical equipment, like let's say we have got a washing machine which has got generally a metallic body. So sometimes what may happen is, due to certain faults, due to certain reasons, if the live wire, okay, comes in contact with that metallical body, then a huge amount of charge will be deposited on that particular metallic body. But if some human being comes in contact with that particular machine, with that particular metallic part, then that person will get an electric shock. Okay, and that would be very much dangerous for that particular person. So if we don't want that to happen, then every such equipment must be connected to ground. Okay, so that if any charge is deposited or accumulated on those metallic parts of such kinds of electrical appliances, then that amount of charge will directly flow to ground or earth, okay, and causing no damage to that particular person, no shock to that particular person. Okay, so this is why we connect earth wires in home electrical connection. Next, here the question is, who will spend more electrical energy? 500 watt TV set in 30 minutes or 600 watt heater in 20 minutes. So we have got two different appliances. One is TV, 500 watt, okay, and it is used for 30 minutes. Whereas on the other side, we have got a heater which is used for 20 minutes and it is having a power of 600 watt. Okay, so if we multiply these numbers, okay, then we will get the energy that is spent. Okay, because we know there is a formula for electric power, and which is nothing but energy spent per unit time or energy used. So energy will be equal to power into time. So we can also convert these numbers into seconds, okay, but right now it is not needed. So if we multiply these, here we are going to get 15,000, okay. This is not going to be in joules because this is in minutes. To get in joules, we have to convert this to seconds. So for that we have to multiply by 60. So later on we can do that also, but right now let's focus on these numbers. And here, if you multiply this, we are going to get 12,000, isn't it? So as we can see, here we are getting a energy spent of 12,000, whereas here we are getting 15,000. So definitely this particular TV set used for 30 minutes will spend more electrical energy. Okay. Now moving on to the next question, okay, from the year 2022. So here, state true or false. An electric motor converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. So basically this is not true, right? Because electric motor is completely opposite. It converts electrical energy into mechanical energy. So this is false. Moving on to the year 2022. Observe the given figure of Fleming's left-hand rule and write labels of A and B. So here, this is a Fleming's left-hand rule. Okay. So here, the thumb indicates force on the conductor, then A and B indicate what? So here, this is force F. This finger, as we know, it indicates the magnetic field B. Okay. Magnetic field is generally indicated by a symbol B, and this middle finger indicates current, that is I. Okay, current is indicated by I. So this is a very, very simple question. Moving on to the next question from the year 2022. So here, observe the following diagram and answer the questions given below. Okay, so here you can see we have got a generator, right? We have got a AC generator. Here you can see we have got a galvanometer. Here we have got two magnets, North Pole and South Pole is here. Okay, so the South Pole of this magnet must be on this side and the North Pole of this magnet must be over here. So there is a magnetic field from north to south in this direction, and there is a coil placed in between the two magnets. Okay, and here we have got some arrangements like carbon brushes are there, conducting rings are there, and there is some wiring done. Okay, so it's a large question for 5 marks. Now, what are the questions? First of all, question is identify the above diagram. Okay, so as we can see, it is a diagram of AC generator. Then write the principle on which the above appliance works. So as we know, it works on the electromagnetic induction. Okay, then next is write the working of above appliance. So it is basically very simple. It works on the electromagnetic induction phenomenon, where what happens is whenever the coil between the two magnets moves, or we can say the coil kept in magnetic field, okay, rotates, then the magnetic flux through that coil changes, isn't it? And due to the change in the magnetic flux, electric current is induced, isn't it? So this is how that particular device basically works. Okay, then the last is write the use of the above appliance. So as we know, electric generators or AC generators are used everywhere in households, isn't it? Or at various industries, isn't it? Manufacturing industries use these AC generators. In cars also, these generators are there. So many places, there are many places where these appliances are used. Okay, moving on to the next question, year 2023 now. The device used for producing current is called what? So here we have got a voltmeter, ammeter, galvanometer and a generator. So definitely a generator is used for producing current. All these are measuring devices, whereas this is a generator. Find the odd man out. So here we have got loudspeaker, microphones, electric motor, and last one is magnet. So definitely loudspeaker, microphones and electric motor, all of these are the applications, isn't it? They are the applications of electromagnetic induction, or we can say applications of magnetic effect of electric current, isn't it? But here is the magnet, okay, which is definitely the odd man out. Okay, so these are actually the applications of magnet, but this is the odd man out magnet. Moving on to the next question. Give scientific reason for electric power transmission, copper or aluminum wire is used. So, as we have seen or as we have studied also many times, and we observe it on daily basis, that everywhere for electric power transmission generally copper and aluminum wires are used. So, why they are used is because first of all they have got a very good conductivity, isn't it? That means they can easily conduct electricity. Okay, resistance is very low. Okay, then secondly, since they have got very low resistance, okay, so therefore they will produce very less heat. That means the heating effect is also very less, and due to which the loss in electrical energy or the dissipation of electrical energy in the form of heat is also very less. Okay, that's why copper and aluminum are generally used. Next is identify figures A, B and C and give their uses. So, first of all, this is what? This is nothing but the fuse that is generally used in many appliances at our home also. And what is its use? Its use is to protect our electrical appliances from any kind of a damage due to overflow of current. Then this one is called as MCB, isn't it? This is nothing but miniature circuit breaker, right? So, this is used in our household. You might have seen this at your house also, right? This is used for breaking the circuit. Sometimes if there is any kind of a short circuit or if there is any overflow of current, then this switch gets off, right? So, due to which the circuit breaks and there is no further flow of current, so that all the appliances are protected from any kind of a damage. And not only that, if there is a person who somehow has got an electric shock, that means there is a short circuit, okay, then this MCB, okay, will trip down. That means it will switch off and therefore there will be no current and that particular person will be saved, okay, from that electric shock. And last one here is this, as we all know, here it is G written, that means it's a galvanometer and it is used for measuring electric current. And not only this, by doing certain modifications, we can use this galvanometer as a voltmeter as well as ammeter. Okay, so these are some of its uses. Moving on to the next. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to discuss some of the questions in detail that we have already seen. So, here two tungsten bulbs of power 50 watt and 60 watt work on 220 volt potential difference. If they are connected in parallel, how much current will flow in the main conductor? And this was asked for 2 marks in the year 2019. Okay, so the solution is very simple. Here the power of both the bulbs are given and the voltage at which they work is also given. So, we have to find out the current, right? So, formula as we know is power is equal to V into I, right? Total power is equal to P1 plus P2, okay, which is nothing but 110 watt, okay. So, total power we have calculated. Now, from here we can calculate I is equal to P upon V by arranging this equation. So, P is 110 and V is 220, which is nothing but 1 upon 2, that means 0.5 amperes. So, the answer for this question is 0.5 amperes, okay. The current 0.5 ampere will flow in the main conductor. Moving on to the next question. Okay, here this is already we have discussed actually, okay. Read the passage and answer the following question. So, this is the home electrical connection consists of live, neutral and earth wires. The live and the neutral wires have potential difference of 220 volt. The earth is connected to ground due to a fault in the equipment, or if the plastic coating on the live and the neutral wire gives away, the two wires come in contact. with each other and a large current flows through it, producing heat. If any inflammable material such as wood, cloth, plastic, etc. exist around the place, it can catch fire. Therefore, a fuse wire is used as a precautionary measure. Now, the questions are, name the two wires having potential difference of 220 volt. Then, what is short circuit? Write the function of a fuse. So, this is for 3 marks asked in 2020. So, the answers for this we have already discussed. First, the live and neutral wires have the potential difference of 220 volt. Second question is, due to fault in the equipment or if the plastic coating on the live and the neutral wires gives way and two wires come in contact with each other and a large current flows through it, producing heat. This is known as short circuiting, right? So over here what happens is, basically, if in some case the live and the neutral wire comes in contact with each other, then it is called as a short circuit, because in that case huge amount of current is generated and huge amount of heat is also produced. Okay, so this is short circuit. And then last is, what is fuse used for? So fuse wire protects circuits and appliances by stopping the flow of any excess electric current, because fuse wires are generally very thin. Okay, so if a large current flows, then it melts down. Okay, that means stopping the flow of current. Okay, so that is the use of this fuse wire. Moving on to the next question. Observe the following diagram and answer the questions given below. So this is already we have discussed. This is from the year 2022 for 5 marks. Okay, so this is basically the diagram of a generator. Okay, identify the above diagram, write the principle on which the above appliances work, write the working of the above appliance, write the use of the above appliance. First is, then it is a working of electric generator, right? So this is the answer for this first question. Then second, AC generator works on the principle of Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, as we have discussed previously also. The direction of the induced current is found with the help of the Fleming right hand rule. Then next question, working. The axle is rotated with the help of a machine from outside. The coil ABCD starts rotating. Okay, on rotating the axle, branch AB moves upward and branch CD moves downwards. Hence, coil ABCD rotates clockwise. According to Fleming's right hand rule, electric current flows in the direction ABCD. The galvanometer attached shows a deflection. So over here, when we rotate it, then definitely there will be a change in the magnetic flux and there is a current induced in the coil as per this Fleming's right hand rule. Then after half rotation, the branch AB and CD exchange their positions and the induced current flows as DCBA, again according to the Fleming's right hand rule. Okay, this appliance is majorly used in an electric motor. Okay, so in this way these are some of its uses. Okay, so in this way, today in this lecture we have discussed many questions that were asked in the last 5 years, from the year 2019 up to 2023. And if you are preparing for the board examinations of Maharashtra State Board for the year 2024, 10th standard board, then this is a very important lecture for you. So please watch this video again and again. Okay, and just try to revise all the questions that have been asked in the previous years. So I hope everything that we have seen today is very well clear and well understood. Thank you so much for watching and all the best for your examinations. Thank you.